All right, everyone, it's time for the funny of the day. Link in the description, archived, of course. The legacy media pretending that it's treating Trump fairly, and that that's a bad thing, by the way. I'm going to read you the title and subtitle verbatim here. This is, by the way, from Politics on TNR. The media's urge to be fair to Trump. This is laughable. I'm trying not to laugh to Trump is killing the republic. 70% of Republicans understand that Trump's tariffs will raise prices. Why is the press acting like they're a huge success? Well, I'll get into this. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Number one, reciprocal tariffs on other countries make sense. If other countries have managed to exist while tariffing our goods so much, which they have in some cases is a 200-300% tariff, why are we not allowed to impose them on foreign countries? I would prefer a world in which there is total unbridled free trade. No tariffs, no taxes, everyone just trades, haggles, does whatever they want. That would be the perfect world. But that's not the world that we live in. We live in a world where the United States has stupidly decided to never tariff any foreign goods while every other country in the world tariffs ours. This makes us less competitive. We have the resources. We have the agriculture, we have the minerals, we have the energy, we have the fuel, we have the automotive, we have everything. But everyone else is tariffing us, keeping us from being competitive in their markets. Basically, U.S. goods are luxury items for the most part, if they're manufactured at all. And with agriculture, we're literally paying farmers to keep parts of their fields fallow just to keep the grain prices up and the soy prices up, while giving a shit ton of free grain and soy and shit like that to third world nations anytime they have a famine. Our economic model needs to change. There is nothing unfair about us using reciprocal tariffs. Let's say, for example, that Mexico tariffs U.S. corn at 10%. So we decide we're going to tariff Mexican corn at 10%. How is this not fair? How is this not simply reciprocal? It's a balance for trade. It makes sense. Ultimately, it would be best if both the tariffs are removed. Now, the tariff system basically is multiple governments skimming off the top of the production of the laboring class. And I don't agree with it. I think we should simply have free trade. But if we cannot have free trade, if other countries are tariffing us, there's nothing we can do about it. I mean, the US government can't unilaterally decide that another country's not allowed to tariff us. Then balancing the tariffs makes sense. How in the world, in a million goddamn years, is the legacy media treating Trump fairly? This article says, well, they're treating Trump fairly, and that's a bad thing. Not treating him fairly. Every single day, it's another Nazi reference or something like that. They've been gunning for this man, in some cases literally, for years and years. It's been a goddamn decade. You cannot possibly argue to me that the legacy media has treated Trump fairly. If anything, he is the most despised by the legacy media that I've seen in my entire lifetime. Now, of course, prior to that, I'm sure there were other politicians that drew their ire even more. But in my lifetime, and I'm approaching 40, I have not seen another president certainly treated with the same ire and disrespect as Donald Trump. Obama was basically their love child. They circled wagons for Joe Biden over and over. They would criticize George W., but it wasn't on the same level that they're criticizing Donald Trump. So the dude that started several wars that killed hundreds of thousands of people somehow was better than the dude who's trying to balance our trade deficit. That makes sense. You look at Herbert Walker, that time he puked on the Japanese prime minister and others, basically, at the same time. When Bill Clinton, oh, it's okay. He stuffed his cigar literally into a girl's vagina that wasn't his wife while in the Oval Office. That's not a big problem. Oh, yeah, and then there was that whole time that he gave nuclear materials to the North Koreans, thus jump-starting their nuclear program. But and he raped several people. But we're gonna forgive that. That's small fry compared to Donald Trump making a mean tweet. You can't argue to me that the press is treating Trump fairly, and or if it were, his approval would be above 60% right now. If the press weren't so adversarial towards him, I remember a time there was a report, actually, I think this was around 2018 or thereabouts, and some Republican analyst was saying, well, if Donald Trump weren't so adversarial towards the press, then his approval would be like above 50%. And I thought to myself at the time, and I'm going to reiterate it now, it's the press that was being adversarial the whole time, commanded by the Uniparty mainly. And he knew this. So he didn't bother to buddy-buddy with them. He knew he wasn't going to get a fair shake. The only time that they kind of sort of praised him was with the Abraham Accords. Other than that, everything that he did was apparently terrible, tyrannical, and wrong. Alligator Alcatraz is also supposedly his fault, even though it was incepted by Ron DeSantis. He gets the blame for things that other people are doing that have nothing fundamentally even to do with him. Member of his cabinet, coughs in the hallway. Oh my God, Donald Trump is trying to spread disease. This is, I mean, it's literal. It's not even figurative. I wish that this were hyperbole. I've never seen anything like it actually in my living days. It's fucking crazy. Legacy media. Oh, we're treating Trump fairly. This is why it's a bad thing. You're not treating him fairly. The fact is that you just want to dogpile him even more. I don't even understand it at this point. The tariffs are working. They're causing trade deals to be minted. They're reciprocal in nature. Trump has shown restraint with regards to their implementation, to the point where he's like, look, I mean, tariffing our goods at 85%. If you don't come and negotiate, we're going to tariff yours at 85%. The other country comes in and says, no, no, please, Mr. Trump, don't do that. And so Trump, negotiates with them some favorable deals and says, okay, it'll just be 15%. It makes the US more competitive. It lowers the cost of goods ultimately, in the end, especially imported goods, which is hysterical because, America first. And it allows the United States to throw its weight around and say, look, we're not going to be bullied anymore. You're allowed to take a little bit off the top, but only a little bit. Our economy is much bigger than yours, so we can weather that. But we can't weather everything that you're throwing at us. Supposedly you're a friend of ours. Why are you abusing us? It's basically like somebody liberating themselves from an abusive relationship. Oh, I love you, but then I just get smacked in the face all the time. That's basically what the United States has had to go through for these last few decades. These trade deals ultimately will benefit our nation, but the liberal legacy media is never going to admit to that. That's about all. Peace out.